Hey, Reject Nation. I'm a little bit embarrassed and sad, frankly, to be doing this at the top of a video. We put out a message that reached over like 1 million views at this point, so I feel like I have to say this, that we would be having a WonderCon panel, and unfortunately, we're not going to anymore. It came down to a simple person in charge of booking forgot to hit send, and then we lost the slot. We thought it was already done, and apparently not. I'm sorry, because so many of you guys have messaged us on YouTube, on Patreon, on our social media that you're going to be coming out to see us, and it's really exciting. Yeah, I'm bummed that we're not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry for those who wanted to go to WonderCon to see us. There's still going to be plenty of other amazing talent and panels that are going to be going on there, so it's still going to be a wonderful time. But to those who messaged us directly, I'm sorry. Just wanted to let you know that. Thank you so much for being willing to drive all the way out and come see us, though. Next time we are going to be at a con, we will get extra confirmation before we say anything. We were just so excited to share that moment and experience with you guys. And I'm sorry we don't get to have it this Saturday, but there will be other opportunities in the future. Thank you for understanding, and on to the video, I guess.
Thank you to Huel for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
What is crack-a-lackin', citizens of the Reject Nation? Welcome back, boys and girls. We're here for episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again. I'm excited. I'm ready to get into it. But before we do that, we want to check in with our boys, see how we're feeling before we go into the episodes. Who we're going to go with? Tick, Talk, Toe, Andrew.
Hey,
hello.
Thanks for picking me first.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Like, dude, we're over halfway through this season.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's been a fun ride. I'm really enjoying it. Love doing it with you guys. So I'm excited to see what's next. It's been a fun ride so far. So yeah, I'm feeling great. Looking forward to this one.
Hell yeah. Coy, how you doing?
Well, I think the number of the devil is 666, so I hope this episode we get the Devil of Hell's Kitchen back, because I feel like leading into the third arc can be kind of fun numerology to dance with, and then 7, 8, 9 full suits. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like this episode's gonna ramp up the stakes going out of the second act into the third by formatting.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that, and I hope you're right. Gregory Alba. Right. How you doing?
I'm good. I normally, when we do these like how you feelings beforehand, it's like life is happening, and then we film our first thing, and we just filmed the other one a few minutes ago. So currently feeling elated because I feel like we're really getting our Matt Murdock back, the Matt that we love, because Matt is not complete without the Daredevil within him. I guess I'll ask how you're feeling.
I'm okay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm great, guys. I'm so excited. I'm loving this show. This is the thing I'm looking forward to every week, every time we film these, and just the company I keep to get to film this with, have good conversations. So I'm just thrilled. If you want to feel just as good as we do, you want to leave a like, leave a comment, you want to ring that bell so you can get notified anytime a new video is coming out. Also, if you want to get super duper sexy, you can go on over to Patreon, where you can watch full-length watch-along highlights with the guys, with the girls. You can sync it with your own copy, where Greg and John do exclusive things over there. We also want you to go over to rejectnationshop.com so you can get tees like these, but also, boom, pow, get your Fisky business, get your hallway hazard, because they're coming in hot, off the presses. And yeah, that's the things. All right, we're gonna get into it, guys. Let's go.
As graffiti artists, we get this bad rep that we're hurting the city, but there's dangerous people out there that are actually hurting the civilians of New York City. People like the vigilantes are helping them.
Oh.
My friend sent me this video. Bro, look how crazy that is. Like, where do you learn that? Kind of looks like a swordsman.
What?
Swordsman?
Who's that?
Swordsman's back from Hawkeye.
From Hawkeye? Yeah. That actor from Better Call Saul. Tony something. I love how they brought the swordsman.
What a character I never thought I'd see again.
What an ominous
Was he
ass
dressed
subway
like that in
shot.
Hawkeye as well?
Is this a hero? Is this
different.
Muse?
Yeah, I think this is Muse.
Oh.
That was an ominous ass subway shot. Train shot.
Some bodies. What are we finding over here?
Muse's work is horrifying. I'm really curious how far they push that on this show.
Oh, damn.
That's that guy, that black dude.
It's like a supernatural death. Eyes burned out.
That's the trademark, but he usually mutilates to make art on top of it.
He could just use AI.
Easy.
Friday is the way of the future.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's great.
That'd be a great shirt.
Is he praying?
Making him a friend and advocate of the poor.
He's reading.
Do thou make us by his intercession steadfast in the pursuit of justice, confident in that merciful goodness.
Oh,
Carries it with him, yeah.
It was like doing a Hail Mary in a way.
He doesn't have Father Langdon anymore.
Through Christ our Lord.
Good job, you just have to stay awake.
Lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit.
notice that girl that was working with them never had both hands up, only one.
It's all building. It's all compounding.
Boy, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's happening.
I mean, he did open the package the other day.
Amen.
I wonder how they shot that.
What are you doing?
You know, just checking in.
You pray? Still?
Still.
Stopped a few times over the years, but I always end up coming back to it.
You'll volunteer at the Bowery Mission until 4, then back to...
I do miss a little bit of the religious side.
Same, yeah. They're trying to dial it back this season.
Just so you know, you have an unscheduled visitor in your office.
There was no Kingpin last episode. That's
At
the
all?
first one.
Yeah.
Good point.
There he is,
Tracksuit.
Mr. Mayor.
Unscheduled.
What are you doing here? Any way to greet an old friend?
This is bad.
Don't you come into this official office
I've got this.
going clean.
You all right?
Yeah, sure. Why?
The paralleling.
Go to a bank and get taken hostage?
All right, yeah, that. Sure.
You were a victim of a crime.
Sure, I understand. I'm just saying that I knew I was going to be okay. I can't really explain it, just like
Faith.
something like that. Thank you, though.
You're not a great therapist.
You haven't read a single one of them, have you?
Is this about the 1.8?
It's all the show. Might as well be Halloween in here.
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, come on. No foreplay?
Ugh, I'm late.
Early patient this morning?
People just
cutting
aren't
in
as
between.
intimidated.
Meeting with my editor, remember?
Oh, that's right, the congratulatory breakfast. If you need help spitballing ideas, you know where to find me.
Interesting you should ask. I've told you the premise, right? Vigilantes. Why we revere the mask.
Pushing at their other side. Pushing at Kingpin's crime. Pushing at Matt's Daredevil.
You need to give Victor the 1.8, and I'll give you until the end of the week.
Respectfully, Mr. Mayor, you can shove that 1.8 up your ass.
People just don't seem as scared of him anymore.
He's in a blue suit in an office.
Yeah.
He's not as intimidating.
With all the
Learn
little
to
tick
respect
going,
Oh,
the
yeah.
quiver. Angry quiver. He's so good at that.
Make it 2.8. 1.8 to Victor, and the balance to me, of course.
Is that a tractor?
I mean, does a mask allow us to be our true selves, or does it strip away our identity and allow us to act like animals?
The mayor is a mask.
Maybe both.
Maybe, right? You have experience with those people?
With animals.
Vigilantes.
You represented Spider-Man.
And White Tiger.
But didn't the memory get wiped?
What are you researching me now?
You're out of the game, old
I
man.
love the pressure they're each putting on.
Stay out of it.
Well, I've been thinking
The call to return.
maybe you would consider setting me up with someone like Frank Castle.
The Punisher. You wanna interview the Punisher?
That idea?
No, it's like that's a solid idea.
There'd be a lot of F-bombs in that interview.
I like how they just give it up on arresting the Punisher. They're just like, yeah, fine. He's died and undied so many times.
Okay, how about Daredevil? You've worked with him, right?
Something like that.
Don't be weird. I'm not gonna stalk your clients. But maybe we can talk about it after.
Sure. Of course.
I got to break up with this woman.
He's getting
wanna-
closer close.
God, I want to know more about who she is outside of the context of her helping our other characters. Or maybe through the lens of those other characters. But
I feel
still,
like the naive therapist trope is a little bit
overplayed.
overplayed.
I'm wondering if she's someone else.
Yeah.
I've been thinking like she might be Typhoid Mary. Like I want to say she's a bigger thing.
Split personality.
That's a cool. I need that in the shirt. That's dope.
This is John Santini from Sanitation.
Is this the guy, from the
bank
robbery?
Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Mayor.
I think it is.
I love they brought him back.
35 years.
He's the Rangers fan.
I voted for you. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is
Mr.
here.
Santini, if you would tell the mayor why you're here.
You're a tough guy.
Right. The mural. I got bad news and worse news, Mr. Mayor. Turns out it's going to be a lot tougher to get that down than we thought.
Oh, he was the one doing on the mural.
The opening.
Oh.
I got the biggest power washer because I didn't want to ruin the facade. Didn't do squat. Switched to a 50-50 sand glass, like a concentration. It's the only way to go.
You should get to the point.
It's made with this epoxy, so I had to do a chemical analysis.
Just get it done.
Special solvent
Johnny,
for my guy
just
in Philly.
tell him what you told me. The worst news.
Oh, right. It's blood.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's the mural. It's made out of human blood.
How Muse sees things. It's blood.
Wait a minute. Is he gonna be the thing that bonds them or gets them on the same side?
Oh, they'll have a common enemy.
For different reasons, of course. But yeah.
What is she doing here?
Who?
Oh, is that the niece?
The Ayala girl.
The new white tiger.
Oh, I think, yeah, definitely forming.
You should go and hang out with Kamala Khan.
I was hoping to talk to Mr. Murdock.
Of course, yeah, come in. 11:17 a.m. What is that? Third period? Fourth? History, biology.
English, actually.
Oh.
I'm getting 99. 104 if you factor in the curve.
Okay.
He was on to something, Matt. He was investigating something.
Ooh.
Someone's got to protect the streets. People are going missing. No one seems scared.
He's going after
He
Muse.
did say that. That's right. Yeah.
I think it had something to do with all those people going missing. All those kidnappings. He started tracking them.
I know you're upset and you have every right to be, but this isn't safe.
Don't tell me how to be Mr. Murdock. Don't put that therapy talk that I'm processing or trying to control or whatever.
You have to validate her feelings, man.
This is what he would have wanted. Someone finishing his work. Someone actually doing something for once.
I would do it in honor of White Tiger.
Yeah, it's going the other way than I expected.
All those kidnappings were all close to the old queue line. The one they shut down, track 61.
I'm just a lawyer, all right? I tried to help your uncle in court, but something like this, that's for the police.
The police killed my uncle.
You're just afraid to put that mask on.
Fair enough. But what do you want me to do about it?
Does she know?
Oh, y'all hear
How
that?
about literally anything? Attorney at law, big fancy office, here to help the little guy, right? Only on your terms. Because when the little guy puts something for real in your hands, you're all, no,
Yo, she's good.
Yeah,
She's
she
a great
is.
actress.
that's cool. My bad for thinking you cared.
It's not that simple, Angela. It's not how this works.
Oh, I'd love to see her as White Tiger.
Same.
Yeah, agreed.
My uncle, 2 days before he got shot, you know what he told me? Don't rely on anyone to do what you can do for yourself. Damn.
Good foreshadowing.
Oh man, I
He
got
was
so many
right.
thoughts. I'm excited.
Man, that head tilt, you got a little light in his eyes and the reflection of like, oh, it was so well shot.
You know, a lot of times people often get like weird complaints or criticisms about when they introduce a character like her, like who you know is going to take up a mantle. She's like one of the better ones.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How many murals in total?
12 confirmed with 18 known IDs, but we've gathered
Agent
at least
Kim.
5 unique DNA profiles for each mural. And
This guy's so like apathetic.
per mural, we estimate at least 60 victims. Earlier pieces in his evolution, and more victims.
What took you guys so long?
They say it's in blood, but it's in multiple colors. How's he doing that?
Art, man.
Hey.
I think they're both breaking this episode.
Definitely.
Again, sensory experience. The laughs are breaks. An evil
This
laugh.
didn't laugh before, yeah.
Sound an alarm, and he could lay low for a while. He could wait us out. Then he'll come back harder.
Sound like you've done this before.
Not a single word leaves this room.
There's no way to run a goddamn railroad.
A criminal trying to track a criminal. That's great.
When the sanitation department figures out there's a serial killer before the NYPD does, maybe it's time to switch up the protocol.
Like that. He's thinking like a criminal.
Uh-oh.
Watch out, I'm a New Yorker.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that
Never
Muse?
approach a guy. Never approach
Are
a
you
guy.
Muse?
What?
Take a picture of you?
They know him as an artist, not as a killer.
Just like artist.
He's Banksying.
Oh, horrifying.
Oh, boy.
Ugh.
That's right. It felt like a horror scene.
The art scene in New York is a good play to play that.
Luca came to see me. It was very disrespectful, might I add. He has no intentions of paying his debt. So I added $1 million tax to his bill.
I'm proud of myself.
You know, politics, it's a different type of problem solving. Most of it is new to me, but some things, they remain unchanged. Find what a person wants and either withhold it, and they'll do anything.
Not tonight.
I've never been more turned on.
You're asking New York's elite for money.
That everything works out for you.
Mr. Mayor,
Hi, I'm Norman Osborn. I'm here to support you.
by simply being there and asking them for money, you're giving them all they care about.
Love this music.
He's learning how to play the game.
Yes! I love how they're teasing him.
What we're talking about here is buy-in. This project simply doesn't align with our interests.
I've been told.
I got to rewatch Hawkeye.
You've made a substantial amount of your fortune around the port, haven't you?
I've had many business interests.
I'm saying your port expansion project is a self-serving con, Mr. Mayor. You're using taxpayer dollars to further enrich yourself.
And your colleagues, so to speak.
Sounds familiar.
I always put the city before myself. And if you're suggesting anything different, well, that's just nonsense.
When is he going to drop the Fisk Force ones?
This intercutting and lighting is so Nolan.
It really is. It's a really good point.
The people that actually make it happen. We don't sit around and wait. People in this room, they know nothing about that.
Underestimate the people in this room at your own peril. They may not use garrots or cemented shoes. One phone call to the right person and bye-bye Gracie Mansion.
That's a threat.
No. It's a warning.
I love how he's like searching the word.
Oh, he's
Gaining
been
weight.
eating. He's been kingpinning.
It seems my suits aren't fitting like they were.
Wow. Was I right, dude?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I guess we have to get you a new wardrobe then.
Oh, we're going back in white? I think he's about to put on a white suit.
Please.
I like how they're actually using the weight as part of his character
Yeah, it's so smart.
to add emotional weight. It's a physical weight to add emotional weight.
Uh-oh. Are you ready to tell him?
Jerry, what is it?
It's about the niece or Muse.
I got a call from a guy at the precinct. Said there's a serial killer out there. They're going through a DEF CON scenario.
How many victims?
60.
Jerry. What? How many?
Upwards of 60, so they say.
That is insane.
Who is it?
Graffiti artist, painting walls all around town. Goes by the name Muse. Apparently, he paints with his victims' blood.
That is sinister.
You gotta be straight with me, buddy. You gotta let this one go. Just let the police do their jobs.
Not doing it. Over 60 people?
Matt could stop this guy.
Time for me to put on the suit and go a few rounds.
Yeah, I think this is going to end with both of them breaking.
There's something you need to see.
I'm sorry, but there's pressing business. Can you make my apologies for me?
Yes, of course.
Instead of involving
These
her.
came straight from the forensic team.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh, my God. Terrible. Horrible.
Those were the two girls who tried to take a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Man's obviously mocking the police.
Shadow.
We can use this.
Ugh.
That's his first thought.
I care about this city.
Then put more cops on the street.
That's exactly why I asked you here. I intend to. A task force, handpicked by me.
Oh.
Oh,
no.
God. The dirtiest cops I could
I keep
find.
thinking he's going to bring Bullseye in for some reason.
People like to use the word gang. I prefer motivated individuals.
Wow.
These crimes. This task force will have special powers and privileges. Like overtime and no body cameras.
Wow.
And who the hell's going to oversee this?
I will. Like I said, I care about the city.
Oh, that tick again.
Yeah.
Kingpin rising.
This city is in a crisis. Serial killers roaming our streets.
Are they all branded?
Yeah, I believe so.
Why us?
You're victims of bad luck. Others, you've been a little overzealous. But all of you throughout your careers have shown initiative. Sergeant Cole North.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Important comic character.
Born and raised in Chicago. Top of your class in the academy. Made detective in only 3 years. That's quite impressive.
It is impressive, yeah.
Tell us what happened January 14th.
I was responding to a call, possible drug activity in the park. Upon my arrival, I saw a guy hand an 11-year-old some oxy.
Oh.
The guy denied everything, so I encouraged him to tell the truth. Captain didn't see it that way.
Sympathy in his eyes.
Sometimes, when you need to get the job done, it requires a little creative thinking. I brought you here because of your skills, because of your ability to get results.
The way you
Consider yourself
operate.
founding members of my anti-vigilante task force.
It's all ramping up.
You are New York's finest. This city is yours, and you're not gonna let some mass criminals take it away from you. Isn't that right?
Wow, that manipulative Fisk, man.
Wow, he's really good at that.
Cole North in this show is interesting. He's like a big part of a bunch of storylines with Daredevil, and he eventually becomes. He eventually sees where Daredevil's coming from, but like he causes a lot of harm.
Oh
Girl,
no!
Don't be down there by yourself.
Jeez.
Oh wow. Oh, Punisher. Punisher Monica. Are you searching for Frank or searching for Muse? No, she's searching for Muse.
She's searching for Muse,
but I'm wondering if Frank's
gonna
her.
save her, and possibly, yeah.
Oh, certainly hope so.
Juxtaposing how she lost her uncle.
Or Matt,
I think Frank's going to kill all those cops.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Reject Nation, I love partnering with brands that I was already using that I get to use more now because I'm on a specific macro plan because Six-Pack Greg is going to be 2025. I'm bringing you guys on my journey. January 25th, that's when I committed to my macro plan diet. Started at 218 pounds, and as of today of filming this, I am now down to 191.2. And yes, discipline, whatever, but let's be real. I need convenience. Like a lot of you, long work days, workouts, and I don't always have the time to cook or prep meals or learn to. And that's why I keep Huel in my routine. It makes eating healthy simple. You can buy them prepackaged or use the powder like I've been putting in this one, and it's great. Because Huel's Black Edition Ready to Drink is a complete meal in a bottle, packed with 35 grams of protein and 27 essential vitamins and minerals, so you're not just filling up, you're fueling up. Not just looking good, but feeling good. It's efficient, no cooking, no meal prep. Just grab it, drink it, donezo. It actually tastes great. A lot of protein shakes, you know how they taste. Come on, do I really need to tell you? They're not good. But this one's smooth, delicious, tasty, and no chalky aftertaste. Low sugar, high protein, great macros. Fits into my plan without ruining my progress. Yes! And they've got more flavors than ever. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, banana, iced coffee, or if you can't decide, you grab a variety box. Take the guesswork out of eating well. And another thing too, it's affordable. Each bottle is under $5, making it an easy choice for anyone who's looking for a quick, nutritious meal. So if you want to try giving your body something that's good for you and also help support the channel along the way, you can go to Huel.com, use my code REJECTS, and get 15% off your first order plus a free gift. That's Huel.com, code REJECTS. Fuel your body even on the go. You'll love it.
Uh-oh. Maybe she finds Frank.
I love how like horror movie boogeyman that whole sequence was.
It's Soledad. I'm sorry to call you Soledad.
No, Soledad, it's fine. What's going on?
It's Angela. She still hasn't come home. That's not like her. Has she been in touch with you? I'm worried. I'm so worried. She's never done this before.
Put on the suit.
Soledad, it's okay. Just stay where you are.
If he was able to predict that it could be in the tunnels, come on, you can feel it. Put the suit on.
It's happening.
There's the music.
Put the goddamn suit on. Call Frank. Man. Call Frank and be like, let's do this, buddy.
911, what's your emergency?
He's trying to stop it.
Nope. Nope. Don't do it. Yeah. The man made a choice.
The horn on Foggy. Oh,
Yeah, that is symbolic.
The penance. He put his penance of the devil on Foggy, and now he's
Yeah.
I wish we saw him like put it on or something.
Yeah. Wish we made
Want
a
a
moment
suit
of
up
it.
scene.
Oh, the devil.
Oh, that yell.
A lot of rage been building up.
Damn it.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it was just one moment.
Did get her.
Damn.
Oh, Nikes.
I don't know if she's gone yet, though.
I don't think
She's
she's
not
gone.
gone.
No,
She can't be.
No. She's still alive.
he's taking her to
but
the lair.
I just meant, like he got her.
Is that a body over there? I don't know.
I
can't tell.
I think that's all David Mack art, the actual art. Who's the artist that did the Jessica Jones title sequence?
Oh, cool.
He created a lot of characters, including Echo. He's fantastic. He does a lot of Daredevil art.
Oh, wow.
He's a good one.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
I like the detailing of the suit. Like, that's all makeshift and there's staples in it. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Is that just a head?
I think they were like hooked victims.
Yeah, I didn't see a lower half, though.
Like
in
a
that
Texas chainsaw.
First person. Oh, please stop. Get there before the needles. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, imagine she's going to put her unconscious, right?
Matt, please hurry, God. it's Fisk.
Oh, does Fisk find this one?
Isn't he going to Adam? This is Adam, isn't it?
Oh, it's got to be. You're right.
Isn't
Great
it the
jump
same?
cut, though. It threw me.
It's the same shot from before.
Yep, you're right.
You guys and your over predictions.
Oh, it's Lupucci.
Did you say this is a buddy of yours?
Yeah, like acquaintancy friend. He's a great actor. I'm glad to see him in this.
Take him out with an axe?
It seems that way.
I can imagine that Vanessa would like for me to let you go.
Thank you.
Stupid. He has an axe.
I don't think he can see it. It's hidden behind him.
But that's a difficult thing for me to do. How we are locked together. Our experience shared.
Ugh. Meaning her.
When I was younger, smaller, I went up against men 3 times my size.
Is he going to give him the axe?
I think he is.
I think you're right.
A simple tool. It can be a great equalizer.
He wants a challenge.
Yeah. Good call, Coy.
Oh.
This is going to be brutal. Oh, we're going to intercut between the two.
Oh, Jesus. I hope we can answer why, like why he does this.
What exactly his ritual is, yeah.
The red in his eyes with the reflection.
Yeah, for sure. When you can see the subway lights going out. Yeah.
That was cool.
Red is coming.
Oh! Let's go!
Hallway fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a fighter.
Oh.
Woo! Woo!
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the mask fits him better now, too.
Oh, I love the intercutting between the two.
Bro, you're now malnourished. You don't have it.
Ooh.
Oh!
Damn, he's like a dive there.
Yeah, you little punk. Oh.
Damn.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Woo. This is pretty good hand-to-hand.
Yeah. Where'd you learn how to fight, guy? Oh, man.
Nice.
Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
The camera work's more akin to the original show.
Come on, Lou.
This is going to be just
Oh,
gross.
this
I feel
is
like
brutal.
something gross is coming.
Oh, nice dodge, Fisk.
Oh, and the painting's right behind too.
Wow,
Ah.
that's
Great
a great cut.
How do you get that out without?
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh,
Nice
Upgrade.
shot.
Whoa! Woo! Oh,
Ooh, yeah,
he
you got
got?
him good. Hell no. Come on, bro. Nice.
He smiled.
Teeth grinding.
Yeah, he's wanting it. He's missing
Woo!
it.
Look at her just walking like a Terminator.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Ah! Shit! No, that.
That's it for Adam.
This is going to be gross. This is going to be gross.
Oh.
Damn.
This is great.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Hang him.
You're gonna hang him, Matt?
The difference is one will kill and the other won't.
But he would save a lot of lives by doing this, but goes against his code.
Honor White Tiger. Yep. He chose to save instead.
How did establish St. Ives as a judge in the midst of his brethren, making him a friend and advocate of the poor?
Are you gonna let him get away?
By his intercession, steadfast in the pursuit of justice.
Did you kill
Keeps
him?
him.
Through Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit.
That is not good for you.
Thank God. Did you let Muse get away?
He's gonna keep
Oh, we didn't kill him.
Just do it again.
Feel good.
Oh, much better.
Definitely laid out some fisky business on him.
Yeah.
You would have heard him get away. You just let it happen, though.
Yeah, I think he was just so focused on resuscitating her, he wasn't worried about it.
It's okay. I'm here. I'm here.
Well, he made his wife a promise, right?
I'm here. Woo! I wonder if she knows.
We're back, baby.
Good
Just
call
in
again.
time.
Good call again by my fellow Geek Ject.
The final
Episode
3,
6 of
that's
The
right.
Devil.
Yep, and let the devil out.
I said it at the beginning of episode 5. He would wear it in the next episode.
But I paralleled
literally
the 6.
said it.
Coy gets the credit.
I
get the
literally
six,
said it. I
six,
think
and Greg
at
gets
the beginning
and
of
Greg
5.
gets
And
the
Greg,
credit.
too. And Greg, too.
He did also say it'd be a 1-2 Punisher episode, but I didn't see Punisher in these 2 episodes, Greg.
Yeah. But I said he would wear it in the next episode. At the beginning of 5.
Good call, Greg. That was an amazing call.
Man.
I skimmed the footage to make sure I
I
was
just-
right before we
check.
filmed.
Oh, look, there's the suit.
That's the one. I'll use that.
There
I'll
it is.
bring the
This is
talking
good.
point in.
Greg's gonna edit all my moments of calling it out. So
No,
it's
you,
just Greg.
you call out most things. I
Oh,
call out
man.
minutia.
What an episode. We're back.
Oh, man. We are back, baby.
That's
back,
why this
boys
was a
and
tour.
girls.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is in the suit. Fisk is whooping ass. Before we get into that, though, we want to thank the guys over at Prepper for cutting down these highlights so you guys can experience what we just experienced on the YouTubes. Guys, how are we feeling? Who wants to go first? We'll go in the same order we went in before. Andrew, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Crack
Yeah,
lacking.
that was an amazing episode. Just tonally too. Like there were, especially with Muse, there was some real horror aspects. I mean, again, like unlike Coy, I don't know a lot about this character, but I'm very fascinated. He's a really, I mean, again, he has not said one line of dialogue, but I am very fascinated yet scared of this character, and also too, he poses a mental but also physical threat. Even though I know Daredevil was kind of kicking his ass most of the time, but still, the hand-to-hand was incredible in that fight. I thought he was kind of keeping up a little bit in his zone, but I thought the episode did a great job of, obviously the whole season has kind of been building up to this moment with Wilson and with Matt. You know, both of them kind of holding in their rage and getting away from what they used to be to building up to now what we have seen here. And I thought this was just such a great way of intercutting, because we've talked about this multiple times, how they are two sides of the same, you know, of the same coin. And yeah. I love the way they were intercutting, especially in that fight. That was just incredible camera work, incredible transitions back and forth. It was really exhilarating to watch. It was really immersive. I love the way, I don't know how they storyboarded that, but it was just so impressive how they executed on that. It was just it was so cool. But yeah, just again, Vincent D'Onofrio, I know we praise this man so much as Wilson Fisk. I will not praise him enough. He is fantastic. Just again, those little quirks and those little ticks, like where he was just, you know, moving his face, like getting visibly upset and like letting out that rage a little bit, but without actually doing anything, because he wants to keep that more in private and not let it out publicly. I love little moments like that. It's little moments like that that just like where it's like, yes, that's Wilson Fisk. But he also has to keep it contained within himself, because he's now the mayor. He's got to have a public perception of that he's not this anymore. So I just appreciate moments like that so much. But yeah, this was also, I know we kind of complained a little bit about this, that we want to see more with Heather and Matt. I'm glad we did get a little bit at the beginning, that she's kind of, I guess, writing a book about vigilantes. So that's obviously there's going to be a clash there, you know, in terms of their personal relationship. I'm interested to see where that goes. I think Coy's got a very good point. Like, who is she? Is there going to be a reveal that she's an important character possibly, right?
At first, I thought it was Kingpin manipulating Matt by going to her.
Yeah.
Now I think she and Wilson know each other, and they're manipulating
You
Matt.
think? I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I think she's on the dark side.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. You know, I was thinking too. I don't know how I got to this place of thought. I wouldn't be surprised too. I'm usually wrong on predictions. If Muse, I know I said that he's probably going to take out Heather. I wouldn't be surprised if they do the bold and ambitious thing of taking out Vanessa with Muse.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That'd be fascinating. And then just seeing how Wilson reacts to that.
That's what makes him Kingpin. The only thing keeping him good.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if they go that route, or with Heather But yeah, it was great episodes. Definitely one of my favorite ones. Again, I've really enjoyed the whole season. But that was a very compelling and exhilarating episode. And again, I love that they delved between the horror and the action. And again, we got him back in the suit. Very exciting, but great episode. It was a lot of fun and scary at the same time.
Yeah, man. Very, very well said. Very insightful. Coy, man, how you thinking? What you feeling?
So this was an interesting episode for me because I definitely felt like it was the two tones back to back was interesting. Like I've been talking a lot about this feeling like a volume 4, and how this feels like it's honoring the first 3 seasons of Netflix while being its own new writer-artist combo. If it was a comic book, this would be a new creative team. What was interesting to have these two back to back was episode 5 wasn't a volume 4. It very much felt like a new creative team, like a guest artist. Like if you're reading a graphic novel and they're like, I got this one really cool idea, but the artist doesn't have time to come in, so we're going to jump in and do this filler and then start, like we're going to go back to the old arc. I've never seen that actually happen on TV. I know there's filler episodes and there's bottle episodes, but a comic book show rarely has that interjection of like this one-off issue. And what was interesting was that fully felt like Disney Plus if they were doing Daredevil. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, there are good Disney Plus shows. I think Loki is exceptional. I think there are elements of Hawkeye that were good. I think WandaVision is some of the best TV in comic bookdom. But overall, there's a tone of Disney Plus show. We talked about the lighting and things. So it was interesting to go from, oh, this is what we would have had. It was like an actual what if of our reality of like, that's what we would have had. So then to come back to this blend of Netflix Daredevil and Disney Plus Daredevil with this episode was really interesting because I caught myself thinking, oh, there's the more of the acrobatics. There's the Billy Club use. It's more comic-y. And I found myself appreciating it, but this was the first episode where I'm missing Netflix. So, like, it's still a positive. I'm still very happy this exists. I still can't believe we have this, but it made me like, man, I can't wait to rewatch the Netflix ones as well. So much like I said in the first 2 episode breakdown we did, I'm really glad they're not trying to just be Netflix, but this episode made me go like, oh, remember how different that was? And I don't know if it was because they kind of rushed the suit up. I don't know if it's because they didn't give it the big moment that I feel like they would have on the Netflix show that was, you know, a longer, it was a lot more episodes and the episodes were longer. But this episode I definitely felt like I'm glad this is season 4, not season 1, because I feel like it would have needed more time. I wish it had more time, but at least it's not trying to be its own first-time thing because it does have the weight of the past. So I liked seeing Cole get introduced. Cole's a big character in the modern comics. Cole is a man who was hunting Daredevil for a long time. Cole was like a special ops badass cop, and Daredevil didn't want to go against the police, and he kind of embodied a certain element of cops. Like a good cop that's willing to do anything. They're very much doing something different here, it looks like, because it does not seem like he's the best of cops. So very curious where that goes. Muse is a very interesting character in the comic books because he is making art out of trauma, and he's got his own vision for the city. So it was interesting. I've been waiting for the reveal of the blood in the art. So it was interesting to see how that's being leveraged as the impetus to bring back Daredevil and as the impetus to bring back Kingpin, but I think it's going to go even deeper. And I think the Kingpin's vision for Red Hook and the Matt's vision for a cleaner New York being possible through law, that's going away. Kingpin's vision's going away, and Muse's is forming. And so to see this come to a head going into Act 3 is pretty cool.
I agree. Yeah. Greg, how are we feeling?
I agree with both of you guys in a lot of ways. Like in terms of the Netflix part of it being the thing that dawned on me after it was done was like I feel like we didn't really, truth be told, I don't feel like we really built Muse all that well to get to this point.
I agree.
That, like the build up to Muse. 60 people, like, and he's just killing 60 people this whole time, and it doesn't feel like there's this thing that's been going on in the city or in the background because they're kind of doing a lot in this season.
Yeah.
That said, it didn't really hit me until after it was done, and I wasn't there being like, man, this kind of feels like, because I felt like we just started getting going with it and everything, you know. So I think it could have been a little bit more impactful if some of that was a little bit more fleshed out, because there is there's parts of this narrative of this season that I totally feel are very cohesive, and I think like the thing they've cared the most to get down is the tearing down and rebuilding of both Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk. So as those central points in your show to keep cohesion, I think they've been doing an excellent job with that and what's going on underneath the surface, what's going on in the shadows that is, permeating and percolating, I would say. And now to get to this episode, strong stuff. It's just like there's some other surrounding elements with it that, like a build up to Muse while on screen, creepy, effective, cool horror vibes. There's a lot about that. I do think the buildup could have been a little bit stronger, even though they did drop a little bit of a hint with White Tiger being on the case. So yeah, but that's not to say there's not a lot of like really good things in this. I mean, in the last other negative, the lack of moment to suit really was like, what the hell? Like we all wanted it, we all knew it, and it's such a moment that they would do. And they kind of just brushed past it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, come on, man. So it was the first time in a while with this show. I'm like, I feel like you really rushed past this when there really feel like a moment could have been earned out of it. That said, I do like the fuck it moment. When he does say that. And him having to do the thing with Foggy. Because in the first episode with Foggy, one of the last things he says to Matt is, I didn't want to give you an excuse. Yeah. So a big part of that, I at least, I think a lot of us interpret, is that he has given up the suit kind of in honor of Foggy. Because Foggy never wanted him to be Daredevil. He didn't want him to continue on. So that's why he had to like let Foggy go in that moment and don the suit. Again, I think they're doing solid character work when it comes to Daredevil and Kingpin. And what they're doing with Kingpin in terms of this control that he keeps hidden away in the darkness and having to let it out. Because I know some people are not really digging it, the fish out of water side with Kingpin. And I don't know. I even though I'm not a fan of him and Hawkeye is kind of whatever an Echo, I'm enjoying watching a guy that looks so out of his element that seems to be very underestimated by his enemies, who will just show up to his office. Like, you're not the same scary guy you once were. Like, everyone underestimating him to the point where, again, it's tearing down and he's rebuilding Kingpin in the shadows. I like the build-up with the Swordsman. It's kind of funny that you got to be smartful. It's like the two you never really thought would be in here. And that I don't think anyone would jump to the prediction Swordsman would be in here. Yusef would be in here.
And he'll talk to Kingpin one day. Like
yeah. And it kind of makes sense actually a little bit more than Yusef even. So I do like that. And then him being Daredevil felt well justified in that moment because cops, they would not get there in time. Bottom line. And that complaint that I had about the way the action is sort of shot completely different here.
Looked great.
Smooth camera, and it seems thematically conscientious of why they chose that. Whereas as opposed to like the conflict freneticness of the handheld before, once they're in suit, once Wilson Fisk is, even with Wilson Fisk, once he is in his element and Matt is in his Daredevil element, suddenly the camera's smooth.
And control.
And in control, exactly. That's that's the right word I put down, control. So yeah, I thought that was, so I'm like, oh, now it's making me kind of look, if it's going to remain that way, then I'm like, okay, then that was definitely like a choice to do it that way. So looking back on those other action scenes now, I'm going, oh, then that complements it well.
I like that.
To do that, so it makes me appreciate it a little bit more. And to your theory, Coy, the thing that reminded me that just made it seem like Wilson Fisk was super smart about the therapist is when he said, she asked if you were safe. Remember that?
Yeah. And I think he's in control.
Yeah. So suddenly I'm like, oh. And I don't know, like therapist trope who's like completely ignorant to all this.
Doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me, especially in this day and age. And especially with how like therapy is so like a thing now. Like she doesn't seem to inquire. Like there's a lot that
we haven't established her much as a character.
No, it's kind of bothering me. So maybe they're going to use her as some plot device to have like a bad guy twist. This successful author therapist is actually a baddie. And the whole thing with the weight with Wilson, like how the physical, because it is jarring and it does physically make him a little less intimidating. Admittedly, when he's not as large of an individual, he's a little less intimidating. Part of the scare is the stature of Kingpin, and he's getting that stature back as he's coming back into his own. And so yeah, there's a lot to still really, really appreciate about it. And my last thing, I love the daughter. I think the daughter is an excellent addition. I can't remember the character's name. The niece. The niece. I think she's an excellent addition. Yes,
Yeah.
I get her.
Yeah.
Is that her first name?
Ayala?
Okay, yeah.
I think so.
She's a really
Ayala
strong
or
performer.
Angela, right? Something like that.
I think it's Ayala.
Yeah, very, very strong performer. And I know they want to do that effect, kind of like when they had Ironheart in Black Panther 2. I liked her in Black Panther 2, Riri, but I know that's like kind of hit and miss. For me, watching this, I'm going, damn, I would love to see this person don the
Mantle,
suit.
yeah.
And it'd be easier to accept too with since we didn't really get to hang out with White Tiger, the OG.
Maybe she's so injured by the blood loss she needs the amulet to recover.
Oh, yes. All good theories. And, of course, Aaron.
Yes. My time has come, ladies and gentlemen. This was an interesting episode for me because it's left me with a lot of joy, but in the wake of having experienced the episode, it's also left me a little conflicted. Now, to get through the positives, I would like to say that I really enjoyed the action in the show. I like the building of tension and stakes. I like the pressure cooker nature of the episode with them cutting between Fisk and Matt and their parallels into addressing their violent nature or the thing that they're trying to suppress, right? I thought that stuff was very well done. And I think this conversation we're having for the first time in the MCU, 20 to 30 plus projects in, is the nature of heroism and its importance within the world that we inhabit, and utilizing the people within New York to echo that sentiment. I think is something that's unique to this show that we haven't really addressed before, and it really makes this show feel like there's a sense of heroism or even the lack of heroism and why we need it within our world. I think that stuff is brilliant, and the way they utilize BB's role within the show, or at least the BB Report's role within the show to illustrate that, I think is very impressive. I wish she was more of a character herself, but that's neither here nor there. Another thing I wanted to address is it's interesting watching, first of all, Vincent D'Onofrio as a performer, because between 2015 and now, in the last 10 years, I feel like we've seen 3 different versions of Fisk. We've seen the original Netflix version of Fisk. We've seen the introduction to Disney version of Fisk where they try to make it more comic booky, and now this Fisk. And I feel as though watching the original version of Fisk and then going to this thing that's essentially season 4 of Netflix is interesting, because I feel like in that original iteration, he very much felt like a big baby of a man, and it feels like that baby became a teenager or that baby grew up, but he's still that guy. So you see the way he articulates himself. You see the way he has his tics. You're like, oh, that's the same dude. He's still a sense of seriousness, but that sense of constant danger of, I don't know what this guy's going to do. That element of his character is a little bit more diminished because I think it's subdued, and that subdued nature of him is sort of tied into him. What's the opposite of Breaking Bad? I guess going good, or his dietary lifestyle is indicative of him being healthy. Within his diet is also him being healthy within his morals, the way he operates within his relationship to the city. And as we see this further descent, him gaining power as mayor, the struggles of his relationship with Vanessa, we see that descent into him now embracing these darker elements of himself, which in turn largens his presence or relargens his presence. So I think that stuff is really cool, and I like us getting to see this version of Fisk now be an adult, so to speak. Seeing him laugh for the first time, which is a very off-putting, given we've had like 3 seasons of him not doing that, to see him kind of come into this maturity in his nefariousness, in his manipulation. I think that stuff is very cool and very interesting. And I like the escalation of the violent nature, that big baby thing that I was referring to, we get to see that start to come out when he is fighting, because he fights like a caveman. He's throwing haymakers and Hulk smashes. And I like that in that scene, him sitting in there with Adam on the floor, it kind of gave me this dual feeling of release, but also in a sense of shame, because he is going deep. He's going underground where no one can see him to commit these acts, right? So watching that and him reflecting in the wake of that, it is like, oh, I'm doing this thing, finally I get to be myself, but oh no, this is the thing I'm becoming in the wake of having to be this upright citizen. But also the stuff with Muse was interesting, because he's coming at it from a place of, oh, this person's trying to besmirch my city and besmirch my name in one, and Matt's like, oh, this guy's destroying my community. And I feel like those two opposing motivations are going to come together for the sake of trying to stop this guy, which I think was an interesting thing that they established. Another thing that go into, I guess, more of the little stuff that concerned me is the lack of relationship with Heather, is the rushing moment of the suit. And also, I feel like we're 6 episodes in, and another thing I'm missing from the Netflix version is his relationship to his Catholicism. Granted, I'm not someone who's like super involved in that nature with relationship to religion, but I think that's an aspect that's very important to Kingpin. Very important to Matt, and his relationship with shame and with violence and his restriction in doing those things are what make that guy. And I think that for them to dampen that aspect of his character is really a disservice, because that's the thing that separates him from other heroes. And we have a little bit of that, but I feel like, I don't know if it's because of where he's at within the arc in which they're writing him in, or they just wanted to shy away from that because, like, oh, we want to just make him more clean to not,
I feel
piss
like
people off.
The parallel of his letting the devil out and letting religion in is intentional. Like the scene where she asked about it, he's like, it always just seems to come right back. That felt like both Daredevil and religion to me.
But that's the first time we're seeing that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like the first time we're seeing Daredevil back is the same episode we're seeing him praying again. I do think there's a parallel of like that. It's the devil and God. Like they're both coming back in. So I think they kept the religion subdued so that it paralleled his vigilantehood.
Or they're scared because Disney.
That's what I'm feeling, but I also can see where you're coming from.
His line was literally like, it always seems to come back.
Yeah.
So does Daredevil.
I mean, she brought up his cross.
I hope they lean into it more going forward.
I could see that.
I hope they do.
She pointed out his cross before. He had that moment where he was at the church in the second episode, and he turned away from it.
Just like he turned away from Daredevil.
Yeah.
So it's slowly coming back.
But it does. But I do get what you're saying though about it. Doesn't feel like there's a push and pull happening with it. Like it doesn't really feel like the presence of God. Doesn't feel like a thing here of like rejecting, accepting. Whereas like that's a God casts a pall in the show. And it doesn't feel like a thing here.
Yeah, I wish the denial of the call was something that was a greater presence rather than him just falling back into it because he's starting to entertain the idea of Daredevil. I wish there was a constant rejection. You don't have to do it like for half the episode, but like have those moments. Like I like the moment in episode 2 where he was outside listening to the church. Let's make that stuff more prevalent. Even when he was like forsaken and angry God in season 3, when he had that moment he wanted to go beat up guys, he's like, God forgive me, and then he like got out of the way. So even if it's just teased, I think I would appreciate that a little bit more. Now, the last thing I want to say before kind of open it up to the conversation again is that this is the first episode I felt the seams a little bit between the old version of what they were trying to do and this version, because it felt like the show and the plot really started in episode 2, and season 1 was just about a reintroduction of establishing emotional stakes for where each character was coming from. But in that, you're also having this story about the pressure cooker of them now trying to come to terms with where they are within their individual lives as mayor, as just a lawyer. And now we're in episode 6. We're like 5. We've had 5 whole episodes, and now we're going into our 4th episode just now addressing the stuff with Muse. Granted, did we tease it? Sure, but it felt like this was this half of the show, and now this is this half of the show. And granted, there's a little bit of intercrossing, but I would have liked to see more of that overarching nature, have it being pre-planned, even if it is more of an episodic type of series.
I would have had BB Urich mention missing people earlier, and I would have also had like missing signs sporadically posted. Like I would have had an element of people are going away. Like even if it was just one news report and like some signs we noticed.
I mean, they did tease it in a couple of lines, but
would have punched it up a little bit. I agree with you. Is what I'm saying. I agree.
Yeah, so I think that's all. That's really what I'm feeling right now, and we'll see how they address the whole Frank Castle, a cop situation. I'm very curious about that. We kind of touched on it in episode 4, and then haven't really touched on it again. Also, the fact that Frank Castle's just around now, like this man like died and was brought back to life like 3 times. Like, all right, I guess we're just giving up on arresting him now. He's just another guy in the city. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. If it brings us closer to comic Frank, why not? Does it make a lot of sense? Not really, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it. But yeah, that's ultimately how I feel. I hope the last 3 episodes sort of wrap up in a nice, emotionally satisfying way that leads us into season 2. And
cliffhanger.
Yeah, and also what I'm excited for season 2 is the fact that because they had to rewrite and rework episodes they already shot with was Justin and Aaron, with them now being the showrunners and helming it from the very beginning and establishing of season 2, hopefully there's a lot more of that narrative through line while maintaining the episodic feel, but also having it feel like a completed thing from start to finish rather than something they, to the best of their ability, they've done a great job of trying to mash an old concept with a new concept that's sort of narratively and thematically tying it back to the original product.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
you got anything else, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, Aaron, in regards to does it make sense, but like, does it make sense that Wilson Fisk would be, hired as the mayor or voted in as the mayor after all the atrocities he's caused? Does it make sense that?
Yes, it does. We have a president.
No, I'm just saying a point. But does it make sense that Bullseye survived that? Does it make sense that the cops that Matt beat the crap out of just had a little mark on his face? Sometimes you just take these things for what it is and you just accept it. But I feel you. I agree with you in regards to Frank. I thought one of the most symbolic and iconic shots in this episode was when he threw the horn onto Foggy's in memoriam thing. Because he's been carrying around that horn for, I would imagine, since what happened to Foggy. So I thought that was a really iconic moment and kind of a release as well, because now it's time to let the devil out and kind of to let go as well from that horn. So I thought that was a really iconic moment. And I love how they framed it, too. It was beautiful. I do agree with you guys. I really did want to see that suit-up shot as well. I mean, it wouldn't have taken very long, so I don't know why they chose to not do that.
I wanted that with, the Evanescence song.
Yeah.
Wake me up.
Bring me life.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Billy Club. Yeah, and then we see Elektra hitting sandbags. Yeah.
Right. No. And then we see Ben Affleck getting ready to fight Superman.
Yeah, that would have been good. And then also echoing.
And Deadpool's there because Jen Garner's back.
Yes. And then to echo, but onto your point, in regards to, I thought that, I forgot if it's Angela or Ayala, I thought she did a great performance. I know she only had 2 scenes, but that scene really hit me. I really was connecting with her too, and just seeing the system did work when it came to Matt defending her uncle in court. He got him off. But then also, too, we see how corrupt the police are, and then there's nothing that can be done about it. And then she's coming to Matt. She's trying to go through every avenue she can, and nothing is being done about it. So, again, we or at least I thought, okay, she's not doing the smart thing, but it's what else can she do? So I do like that she's a very active character, and she's, trying to, respect and try and do something in respect to her uncle. So I did like that. Also, too, I thought there was, I kind of mentioned earlier at the very beginning, there was a nice build to this in regards to Matt and Wilson, but also the last couple episodes. We saw the bank thing with Matt. We saw, obviously, what happened in episode 2, and then we saw coupled with the conversation he had with the niece, and then obviously Cherry telling him about Muse. So it's Matt's been trying to contain himself and holding in that rage, but just there, and I love that moment. It was just so well executed, and the way Charlie Cox delivered that line of, am I allowed to say an F-bomb or no? I'll just say F it. When he said F it was just I think that was us as the audience. Yes, I mean, going to the cops at this point is not worth. It's not going to do anything. You've got to take actions into your own hands. Yeah. So I thought that was really well done, and it was just, again, a really nice build up from the last couple episodes, as well as that moment in episode 2 just with the cops. But I thought that was great.
I feel like the original show did a better job of establishing that hopelessness and that lawlessness and that need for Daredevil through showing it, and I feel like this show illustrates it through the city talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very much a showdown.
But when the city's not talking about it, you don't really feel it.
But if the BB stuff wasn't in there, you would not feel it.
You really need the BB stuff.
Yeah,
and I noticed the lack of BB stuff in the episode that was from the old regime.
Yeah, because we only saw one scene or two of Muse, right?
But that's why the lighting and cinematography of the original was so key, because it creates an atmosphere that conveys that.
Yeah,
totally.
And I think that is missing in this one.
Also,
for sure. But
you know what? Sorry to interrupt. You know what else I noticed was I felt like, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, or if you guys feel differently. I feel like the first episode was the most stylized, and nothing in the series has matched that level of stylized nature.
Because a couple people directed that one.
Very well.
And I've noticed that a couple other that's the only one.
Those names have not reappeared as director, but as exec producer.
Yeah.
They exec produced a ton, but there's flavors, but not that level of.
Because they definitely helmed way more of the Loki.
Yeah.
And
because the whole ear thing, we've not really utilized that in the same
to the
way.
same scale.
No, yeah,
the camera thing at all, really.
The first one was like, we need to fix some stuff because this is the old we're taking over. But I do feel like they try to often make up where they lack in writing. They try to make up for in like visual editing and stuff. But at the same time, you're right. I'm like, oh, it is a little bit not as stylized.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I feel like that last episode we watched was very much something from the last one. Granted, I'm still enjoying it, but I feel we shot 6 and then shot 3 to kind of make it all together now.
I am excited to see the third act. Like I feel like we have earned a ramp up. I am excited to see where it crescendos. But yeah, I agree with our highs and lows. I'm just excited for like the big because I feel like we've earned that.
Yeah,
definitely.
But we're shells.
Yeah.
But guys, that has been us for episode 6. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. Help us save the city, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Deuces.